Well, what are we fixing today? Today I thought I'd try something different. I've always had broken plastic things here and there, and I could take my 3D printer and design something and replace it. You know, sometimes that's appropriate. Most times that's appropriate. However, sometimes you got big stuff. Don't fit in the printer. It's too complicated to build. I'm going to try to, well, weld some stuff online, and I ran into a deal on a welder. Well, I think it's a deal. You can tell me if it's a deal. We'll see. Let's check that stuff out. It's on the bench right over here. Let's check it out. Well, here's my junk on the bench. Let me shrink myself down and crawl over here a little bit. This is the stuff I got. Now this baby is plastic welding gun model H150. And I got this at, I don't even know, I hope it works. I got it at a box store where the, Amazon return store. You ever see those things? Look kind of cool. It was $5 in the bin. So I'm like, I know what that is. I want one. Let's try it. Power 150 watts. So, to go along with that, you need stuff, right? So I bought some tips. If you're just going to do really ugly repairs and not actual welding, you probably don't need these. I thought I want to do some welding. I guess these are all the same. Alright, only gonna need one of them. When you use it, I think you put it on here like this. Ish. Yeah, a little prying on that. This is a little bit bigger. Yeah. We'll do that like that. Now when I push the button, that should get hot. Starting to smoke. No. Looks like it'll actually do some welding kind of things. Or cutting, probably. So yeah, that's working. This is silicone. Not gonna burn that. So okay. That's what I'm doing when I'm welding. They also have these other things. They're like little wires. Stick it in here. The little holes. You want to glue something together. So you want that to go together, right? I think you put it somewhere and support it. Let me get this hot. Sink it in there good. That cool. So do a bunch more of those, and then you take the welder thing and you flatten it out, and then you take a cutter and cut those off. You can make a pretty strong fix, huh? I mean, this is what I gotta do to get it apart. Now, that takes quite a bit. So, I'm gonna keep this for material. I'm guessing these black rods are probably what I have, at least for color. These rods are something I bought as well. Take a look at the number from AliExpress, I think. I think the first ones I need are going to be these. Get a couple of these out of the bin. Let's go for this flatter area here first. A couple of these staples in there. So that's kind of what they are. They're like staples. I think they're stainless, but staples. Let's put one in this way in the beginning. Yeah, that smells awesome. It smells like ABS. And here. And folks, I'm no expert. If you've done this before, you see me doing something wrong, let me know in the comments, please. And I'm going to put one more crossways there. That one didn't stick. Pulled it out too soon, I guess. It's also interfering with the other wire that's next to it. So don't overlap them. Like so. I'm thinking I should cut them off and try to weld over it. I've been looking for that. Let's try one of these rods. And a little welder doohickey thingy. Let's see what happens. It ain't pretty. My thing is welded. What's my little piece of plastic that I had? I put some of this in there. The trigger wants to, there's a hard pull on this trigger. The finger wants to keep coming off of that trigger. So that's a problem. Got one wire that wanted to come through. Just gotta smooth this out over here a little bit. I'm liking that. I think the next crack to fix, I got one here. And I got one there. I think I'm gonna work on this one. Heat it up-ish. Heat it up. And make sure you count to 10 or something to wait. Especially if you get it real hot like that one was. And I missed. Well, that's awesome. I completely missed. Woof. Let's try this again. Okay, that's better. Now let's put a squiggly in here. Let's put a squiggly in this one. And I think it's a long break. I'm going to alternate. Squiggly this way. I don't think I'll fit another one, so I'm just going to do another cross one in there. I don't think I can fit one this way, so I'm just going to put another one in there this way. Let's trim these all out. I'm liking that. Feels pretty strong. Seems like the shorter ones get hotter. What I mean by shorter is there's more wire here between there and there or something, because these you got to hold longer before you can remove them. They want to come right out, and they also can make these turn red hot. I got two straight, well, inside corner ones. Try one of these. Now the real question is, should I try to fill that hole? Because I'm gonna have to cut something then, right? I guess. A couple of these, fit them in between there, maybe. Cut some of that off. I think to make sure I don't cut myself, I'm gonna take the take it in the garage, the grinder on it, make sure there's no one of these sharp wires sticking up. Or just say crack. Woo, she's getting warm. I think I need to take a break. This was part of the cowl on my van because it broke. It just broke. So I'm just going to take. See what I did there? Held it in there, marked around it. I'll have to try to like cut this out. So a little bit of shape in here. Okay. How's that looking? That's not looking half bad, huh? Not perfect. Not horrible. It's a tiny amount of little wiggly in it. I'm gonna flip it over. And go to town. I'm just going to do an actual weld on here, I think, first. Just no extra material. Just melt it together. Then I'm going to put some wires in. We need extra material in some of these spots, but there we go. I'm going to lay this rod right in there because there's a hole here. I think it's best to start. See where the crack is here? I'm going up here, getting her good and hot at this end of the cut. Well, the break or the repair. Getting it to melt both sides. And do like a, get it in there a little ways and then do like a welding stitch. One like a little circle. Maybe dive it in there a little bit. Pick up some material, so we'll push it back down. Need a little material over here, I think. So I think what's going on is part of it, this part of it's doing some preheating and this is doing the work. Here. So she's melting. Get both sides to the same level. Then she can melt both sides. Okay. Let's see, get her going. Do a little. Yeah, that's hard on the finger. A little rocking, a little poking. Go in there. Push some back in. Now switch hands. This is left-handed. And I'm starting to smell this gun, I think. Oh yeah. Definitely melting the gun. Let's get this finished. I'm actually bending the gun up. Plastic of the gun is melting. So, I think I gotta stop. Cheap gun, cheap results. But, it's ugly. I think it's pretty good. I would have liked to put some wires in here, but it ain't gonna get it. I got wires in the cracks. In the repair, I got just regular weld. So, take the grinder to this a little bit, take these sharp pokies off, and good enough for who it's for. Well, so much for that. A little better idea what we got going on here. You can see the gun's melting. This thing is hot, and look how it's tweaked up. Whoop. Yeah, I could push it down. But all this plastic in the gun is melting. I got this so hot. So, I don't know how long that was, but if you got a gun like this, that was too long. But I got my job done. So that's cool. So, give me a like. Thought that was fun. If you want to see me fix something else or got something in mind for me to do, let me know. Want to send me some stuff to fix? I can do that too. Let's give it a try. In the meantime, give me a like, watch my stuff, open a playlist and let her play. You know, I could use some watch hours. I would like to monetize someday, and I'm still a few hours away in a year from monetizing, so we need people to watch my stuff. I do what I can do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, if you break your plastic, don't run your gun too long, because it'll melt too. Bye!